In this lesson, we're going to be talking about designing your overview. Now, this is a very important part of your profile because when a client clicks on your profile, this is most likely the very first thing they're going to be reading. So this really can make or break you. So what makes a great overview? Well, I've seen a lot of different styles of overviews. Some of them work really well. Some of them don't work at all. But I'm going to show you the formula that's worked really, really well for me. So first, I recommend starting out with a fairly short intro that summarizes what you do and maybe shows your personality a little bit. Remember that clients are people and they want to work with somebody they like. So let's go to my profile and get started. Now, since I haven't submitted my profile yet, we're going to get this screen once again and click on Complete My Profile. And then we'll scroll down to the overview and delete the dummy copy here. So there we have it. Just a couple of sentences talking about myself and a very, very brief overview of the things that I do. Next, I'm going to list out all the various job types that I am willing to take on. Now, this may not be right for everybody, but this allows my clients to scan my profile and get a good idea of what I offer. Now, you might want to start with a very short list of what you can do and then extend that list over time. I like to take a look at this list about once a month and make sure that everything there is accurate and make sure that I haven't found another lucrative job category that I haven't mentioned yet. And I'll give you an example. For a long time, I did audio production for podcasts, but I never even thought about mastering audiobooks. Then I started seeing and getting a few audiobook mastering jobs, and I realized that I should add that to my profile. And that has helped me out immensely. There's been multiple occasions where clients have actually reached out to me after seeing my profile, and I've landed a job mastering their audiobook. So no matter what you do, you will find little niches that you probably haven't even thought of yet, and you'll want to add that to your profile as you go along. So let's go back to my profile. And I'm going to write out what I do. And here is the full list of what I do. So I have maybe 10 to 12 different items there. Now, at the end of my list, I'm going to add a little note telling my potential clients to contact me if they have a project that is not listed here. I'm also going to give them a guarantee that I'll respond within 12 hours. People are a lot more likely to ask you questions if they know they'll get a quick response. And questions almost always lead to jobs. So you want to make sure that potential clients feel comfortable asking them. So I'm going to write, if your project isn't listed, just send me a message to see if it's something I can do. I usually respond within an hour, and I promise to get back to you within 12 hours. So again, this is just making them feel like if they ask me a question, I'm going to get back to them as quickly as possible, and it's a guarantee that it's going to be no more than 12 hours. Next is the About Me section of your overview, and this is just a very short bio. And this is about reminding your clients that you're a real person with a life outside of Upwork. You can put where you live and maybe what you enjoy doing with your free time, whatever you can think of, and try to show a little personality here. So I'm going to write who I am. I am the co-founder of the popular podcast Wallaholics and the author of the ebook Profitable Local Podcasting. I am 28 years old and live with my wife in the beautiful city of Walla Walla, Washington. So it may be a good idea for me to expand on that a little bit in the future, but I think that's a good start. Next, I'm going to write, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message. Thanks. And again, this is just making the potential client feel comfortable with reaching out and asking me a question, because I know that if they ask a question, chances are I'm going to end up with a job. Lastly, I put a few of my best reviews at the end of my overview section on my profile. Now, there's some people that would tell you to put it at the very beginning of your overview section of your profile. You can do it either way. You can try out both, see what works best for you. Either way, I would highly recommend you do this as soon as possible. This is all about social proof. Social proof goes a long way towards building trust. So I'm going to put a couple of reviews that were extremely positive at the end of my profile. Now, since you are just starting out, you won't have any reviews from Upwork clients. But if you have any other reviews from other sites, you could add them here, or you can wait until you get your first glowing review from an Upwork client and then go ahead and post it here. Now, in my case, I do audio engineering, podcast consulting, and voiceover work. So I'm going to want a nice mix of those three, if at all possible, for my reviews. So I'm going to start out with an audio editing review. And then we're going to move on to a podcasting review. And then towards the end here, we're going to do a voiceover review. So that does a pretty good job of covering all three of my main categories. And I would recommend you do the same if you have more than one thing that you do on Upwork. So I've completed my overview. So the last thing I'm going to do is save my work. So that's it for your overview. And please take some time designing your overview. As I said at the beginning, this really can be a make or break kind of thing, and you need to make sure that you do a really good job. Next up is adding projects to your portfolio, and that is the topic of the very next lesson.